Okay. Hello, people. This is Zyberpunky and friends, and today Shinja is joining me to an interesting topic that is about GameStop Puerto Rico. Yeah, and GameStop Puerto Rico is leaving, and we're going to talk about it, pros and cons, and why to leave.
Welcome.
So,
Um, yeah, so they're gone, or not yet. They're leaving soon. But I read an article online, and the reasoning why they're leaving is basically their sales in Puerto Rico haven't been great, and not just in Puerto Rico, worldwide apparently. Um, so yeah, and they said because of government restrictions too.
yeah,
So I'm sure that plays a good part in it, but it's probably not all of it. Um, but yeah, so I was reading it, and apparently, in the third trimester, um, last year, third trimester, the season, they lost 20%, or they went down 20% in hardware sales, and they went down 9% in software sales. So that's pretty bad in
pretty damn
general.
bad.
And that was for the third trimester, and we don't know how they did in Christmas or the Christmas season, but that might be out soon. But they said that a lot of the reasoning behind like the bad sales was because of Halo 5 and Star Wars Battlefront.
That's it.
They said that was it. Like, I'm sure there's more behind it actually, which I'll get into.
I mean, there are more games, but the hottest one were that.
Well, it's just, yeah, those were the two that, like, they were like, they marketed a lot, and GameStop put a gamble. It's like, oh yeah, people are definitely gonna buy these. People are talking about this all the time. And then people saw that Battlefront wasn't as great as you know, like they thought it was, because it's EA,
Yes.
which I knew was gonna happen. Like when I heard EA was doing it, I was like, wow, it's beautiful and the multiplayer is great, and but there's no single player or anything, and
Yeah. Kind of
they
sucks, and the map.
and, and the DLC is
Yeah,
season pass is $60. I'm like, ugh, or $50, but
and the microtransaction.
yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah,
microtransaction.
micro for kids. It's buying another game.
Yes, exactly the point.
Um. Anyway. Uh. Yeah, and then Halo 5. I guess they marketed it a lot, but to be honest, I heard no hype for Halo 5. Um.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't even remember it. Like, to be honest. Maybe there was some at some point, but I guess that's how bad it did. They bought more copies than they could sell. Um, so the same applies for Battlefront. I got Battlefront though because it came bundled with my PS4. But
Cool.
um, but other than that, I don't think a lot of people are waiting for Battlefront to drop in price, and because of that, that affected sales.
Exactly.
Uh,
Now there was other thing that people have been mentioning that were the taxes. The taxes were raising, and I don't think like GameStop will like. Um, we know that the taxes we don't like. That money isn't for us anyway, so we're just going to leave because of that reason too. Because
yeah,
it the taxes are raising in Puerto Rico extremely high, and the government here is in a great debt.
yeah,
And-
like I don't understand. Like I don't know very well all the tax laws in Puerto Rico. Um,
it's pretty high. It's pretty damn high.
I mean, for how small the island is, it's pretty high.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
um, because like out here, like what is it? You guys, how much taxes? Like how much is sales tax? 11%,
Yeah.
10%?
Yeah. Yeah.
Out here it's 8%, and if you're in Missouri, it's 8%. If you're in Kansas, it's 10%, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and which is not too bad. But the thing is, like, we have a much bigger like minimum income or minimum wage income. Um,
Exactly.
and living here is really cheap. Like electrical and water bills and all that stuff is cheap, so the tax is not bad. Out back in Puerto Rico, living is expensive, so the tax kind of like kills it.
Totally killed.
So, and it's not only bad for like the people, the citizens, but it's bad for companies too, and smaller companies too.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they've got taxes imposed on them too that they have to pay. Um, but like since the taxes on sales and whatnot have risen so much, people are you know uh they're discouraged to buy. You
Exactly.
and if you're discouraged to buy, you can't make sales, and if you can't make sales, you can't really pay those taxes. So um yeah, it's just it's a hard time for businesses to be open in Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah. There's like people today. They're like, it's so easy to buy online that there's no taxes whatsoever. There's like,
Well,
it's
it depends where you buy it from, because some places do charge tax. Um, but yes,
yeah.
that, that's true. Like I can go on eBay and I can get an item with like the free shipping
Yeah. Free shipping. Yeah.
and no tax on it.
So
Uh,
it's just like less. It's not like charging you for everything you buy. You know.
yeah.
At least
It's like
online you can look for something that doesn't have like shipping.
yeah, it's
Like
like
both options.
yeah, it's like so when I bought my PS4, I was impatient, right? I bought it at a store, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I had the money cash. And I was like, they have the bundle right here. I'm gonna buy it here. So I spent like $30 more through tax than if I had just waited like a few days and bought it through Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
They'll only charge me the base 350, and then um they would have shipped it to me for free, 2 day shipping even because Amazon Prime.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just so easy and convenient to buy stuff online now. And you can find great deals online too, like on anything really. Um, which is another reason why I think GameStop was doing badly. It wasn't just the taxes. I think taxes did play a role in it, but it wasn't like a
A huge deal. Yeah.
huge deal. Like GameStop worldwide has not been doing great for a while. Like you take a game to trade in and they'll give you nearly nothing for it. No matter how new the game is, they just, sell it or give you money based on popularity, I guess.
Yeah.
And even then, they sell it for way more than you know, what you sold it to them for.
Exactly.
Um, and not all of their deals are great. Like on new games, the prices are pretty much the same as everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Online, you could find stuff from other people pre-owned for cheaper.
Yeah.
Um, and like a lot of stuff. There's only been a few times where I was like, "Wow, GameStop has a good deal," and if you have the Pro Rewards card, it's great. Like the other day, they had a buy two get one on pre-owned games, and that was good. You know, those sales are always good.
I mean,
Um,
games that have they're good and they're bad. I mean, you and me can tell about our experience with GameStop here in Puerto Rico, and you remember that Me not so well with GameStop.
Yeah,
I like.
I didn't buy a lot of stuff at the Puerto Rican GameStops. I only have like one really bad experience.
Go tell and share it with us. Just
Yeah, I'll share. And then you can tell us about your
yeah.
several horrible experiences. Well, a while ago, I wanted to buy Twilight Princess for the GameCube, like Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and this was before the game was rare, I guess, or maybe it was already rare. But I found a copy in one of the GameStops in Puerto Rico. Um, I can't remember which one it was, but I got it. I bought it, and I was so excited. I get home and I play it, and the game is so badly scratched um, that like it'll play, but like then it just stops working after a while, you know. So obviously I'm kind of mad. This is not really GameStop's fault. Like it is their fault in a way for selling me a faulty product and that they didn't check thoroughly. Um, but it's the original owner's fault really. So I go back and I tell them, hey, the game's scratched. I want to return it, and they're like, oh well, we can give you a replacement if you want. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'd like a replacement. And they're like, hold on, let me see if I can find one. And they have me waiting forever just to see if they can find another one. And like, oh, we can't find another one in here, but there's another one at this other store, and and they tell me which one it is, and so you know that in Plaza Carolina
Right.
there were like three different GameStops,
Yeah.
or
Back in those days, yes.
back in those days there's three or two. I can't remember how
Two.
many.
Yeah. Two on the same floor.
Yeah, were they on this? Yeah, they were on the
Yes. On
same
the
floor.
same floor.
They were just on like different sides of the mall.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I go to the one that they told me, because I was like, which one is it? They're like, oh, it's this one by this entrance. And I'm like, not the one by the food court, the other one. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go to that other one, and they're like, oh no, we don't have it in this one. It's in the other one by the food court. It was like, what the f, man? I literally just asked like before driving here. Um,
Damn.
so I have to go to the other one, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hold on, we're still looking for it for you." Uh, yeah, I wait for a while. They finally get me my game, and it's a happy ending. Like they don't charge me anything. They give me the game, and it works perfectly.
Well, this was back in 2008 or 7, maybe.
No, that was later. I'd say this was let's see, 2011, maybe.
Oh, well, so it was this decade.
Yeah, it was this decade for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I think they stopped selling it. Those, I mean, I think it was 2010, maybe.
Yeah, they didn't have it new at all. It was used, and I got mine for like $10. So when I heard that the GameCube version was so rare that it was $60 or $50,
Yeah.
50 or 60 somewhere around there, I was like, what? So like, cause my like Officer Dan, like when I told him I had GameCube Twilight Princess, he was freaking out. He was like, "You have GameCube Twilight Princess?" Yeah. So yeah.
So, my experience. So I will tell you two of them because there's like at least four, but the most recent ones because GameStop started being shit for a long time. So one I think it was like in 2013 or 2012 maybe. I think it was like a birthday gift that GameStop gave me online, and it was like a 25 discount for a pre-owned game.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
do
you remember because you printed it.
that.
So we Shinja right here print the paper for the discount, and I go to GameStop here in, I think it was Escorial, yeah, the Escorial one, and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this stupid shooter game because back then was like shooter fever, whatever. And then the guy just said, oh yeah, happy birthday. I'm like, okay. And then he tells me the actual price of the game, and I'm like, so what about the discount? He completely ignores me, and he like, oh no, you can use it some other occasion. I'm like, but did you use it? No, I didn't use it. I'm like,
But,
supposed to use
but
it.
I want to use it now. Why do you think that I brought the coupon?
I'm
Did
like,
I just want to show it to you?
I was like so damn pissed. I'm like, I don't remember if I bought the game, but what I only remember was that I left GameStop really pissed off. I'm like, these
You
people.
you always left it pissed off. Like, there's another story that you told me
Yeah.
about.
Here it comes. This is the other story. So I will go to games and I'm like, okay, so I was going to buy like two shooter games. I think this was the next year. I think it was 2013, and I'm like, okay, so I want to buy the this game. He's like really dry employee. He barely see my face. He was like serious all the time, like um
He's like he doesn't want to be there basically.
exactly. He didn't want to be there, and I gave him my card for the discount power to the player shit card, and he just take it and he just throw it on the counter. I'm like, okay, I picked the card on the counter because he didn't give it to me by hand, like,
Yeah, he just tosses it back basically.
and he didn't give me a bag for the games, and he didn't even say good day. He did nothing. I was like, really?
Wow.
I left pissed off.
That's like horrible customer service.
Yeah, man, I was so damn angry. Like, this can't be happening because, oh my god, so many bad experiences. The other one was that I was going to buy a game and they didn't find a box, and I'm like, well, I want the box. I want the box. I mean, this game is not that old, so you gotta have the box somewhere. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
He said that. Oh yeah, it's around the stacks around there. Look for it. I'm like, okay, you're sending me to look for it. So I look for it. I'm like, okay, oh, here it is. And when he sees the price tag, I think the price when it's used or new game, and the sticker said, oh no, you can't have that box because it says new game, yours is
Yeah.
owned. I'm like, I left the box um and in the stack, and I just left. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm like, really,
Yeah.
you guys, like, if I was like another uh customer, I'm like, I will be like, um, F you, F the store, because for the bad services that you guys have here, oh my gosh, this is not tolerable. And this is bad. This is like, at least last year and this year, they were like, okay, they were okay. They weren't that bad.
Yeah.
And man, it's people online, like I've seen Facebook uh yesterday, today, they're like, man, now we're gonna miss GameStop, now we miss the good games. I'm like, oh, people, let's be real, GameStop was shit, but let's look in the bright side. I mean, like, because of GameStop, I I have the channel that I have right now because of the cheap games that they used to sell, and it was like really fast because Plaza Escorial was right there, and I just go, oh,
Yeah,
so I'm going to buy this game today, and I just pick it up and play it same day. Not like online that you have to like wait if you buy eBay or Amazon. But this was like a fast thing that you and me, will be used to do because we still have GameStop today. We'll have it until March, and they say like, well, we're going to miss it, but we have to be real. Like, I know physical copies. I like more physical copies than digital copy. I mean
yeah, same
digital,
here.
but digital, it's winning. You know, uh,
Yeah, it's just the faster option and it's cheaper.
it's a lot cheaper. And for a lot of us that like physical copies, well, it's gonna hurt a bit, but we still got eBay or Amazon. You know, it's not
Yeah.
always Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network. You know,
It depends on what game it is too. If it's one that I really want to add to my collection, like Akiba, Akiba, I wanted the physical copy. I didn't want the digital.
exactly the point. And people are like, um, we get it, we get it, but look at in the bright side. We still have Amazon and eBay. We still have digital online.
You
Uh
got Best Buy and Walmart.
you got Best Buy and Walmart. Even though only Best Buy and Walmart only sell like popular games, which
No, well, Best Buy has quite a few games. Um, you can't like Carolina is crap, so you can't go buy games there.
yeah.
Because they've only got a few. They don't got a dedicated section really.
Yeah.
Um, they got a somewhat dedicated section, like a little one. But most Best Buys they have a pretty decent amount of video games. And Walmart has crap video games. I've never seen a Walmart that has a great selection of video games.
Nah, it's just really low. It's really bad. It's not that great. I mean, I go to
Yeah,
Walmart and they like they I see like Black Ops 2 still $50, man.
yeah. Their prices on games haven't always been good. I think they only had like two games last Black Friday that were like really good deals.
Yeah, but
I,
that's just it.
yeah, and yeah, I think those are the only places. I mean, and there's some other smaller places like I can't remember it, but there's this like music sort of like music store in Las Americas
Yeah.
um where they got music and movies and whatnot, and they got a small video game section, but they're all like crappy like I want to say Wii games, but like it's just I'm not saying the Wii games are crappy. I'm saying these are the really bad ones.
Yeah, totally unpopular.
Yeah, like you've never heard of these ever
Are you
at
talking
all.
about specs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, it sounds like specs.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name, but see, you know it, so you know I'm right. But the good thing about this is this is an opportunity for new businesses.
Yeah,
Because basically GameStop had the monopoly on a dedicated game store.
in a bad
Um,
way.
yes, in a bad way. A monopoly is never good.
No.
Um, but they had a monopoly on video games basically
Yeah,
on the island.
totally.
Um, Before there was other places like Play and Trade and whatnot. And those places are cool because they have like way better stuff than GameStop does, especially like used stuff. They got like older stuff too. Um, so um, if someone picks up an interest and like taking up some of the old buildings that GameStop is leaving.
Yeah.
They could open up like a newer and local sort of game store. And if they take advantage of it, it could be really successful. Um, so yeah, I would like to see that. Another good thing about this is the day that they close, they're gonna have like tons and tons of clearance sales
Yeah.
because they gotta get rid of all their merchandise.
Like a settlement. I know that GameStop will actually get rid of their games because of the store. So
Yeah,
they might have to lower the price.
not only just the games, they're gonna be getting rid of even like the shows and whatnot.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, dude, like it's gonna be pretty good. So if you see that they're selling the amiibo stands, buy them. Buy them, and I'll buy one from you or whatever.
I mean, it will be a lot cheaper by at least February, maybe late February.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So like that's one of the bright side. I mean, like we have good things about GameStop, but we also have a lot of bad things about it. And so we should not be how do I tell you not that concerned because we all know that GameStop was crap. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, but my experiences in GameStop weren't that well. And I stopped going to GameStop because of that reason. I mean, I just start buying on eBay and digital, you know, games, and I was like, I have to stop because there's a lot of good deals out there. Not just GameStop. GameStop wasn't the only one who sell cheap games. So
Um, but yeah, a lot of people are moving on to buying video games online just because it's cheaper, and we're in times where like you need to spend less money, and if stores can't meet that that challenge, or if they can't accept that and they don't like try to move to like competing with online prices, because right now, normally stores have only ever had to worry about competing with the other popular chain or whatever.
exactly,
Um, Now they actually have to start worrying about competing with online sellers.
exactly.
Um, so yeah, it's a tough time to do business. So
So
Japan is fine.
yeah, so the future here in Puerto Rico for gaming, I mean, like I know there's gonna be someone that'll be like, I have to make a game store or something. Like there has to be someone that has this idea to be better than GameStop.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Um,
it's money that because games are not just entertainment. They're jobs. It's employee. There's employment. It's money. Period.
yeah.
It's money.
Money comes through in very different ways. So
Exactly.
okay, well, thank you for joining us for Cyberpunk and Friends and this great discussion about GameStop. Uh, be sure to subscribe to Cyberpunk Station.
Yes.
Yeah. And be sure to check out my channel, Kirby Bukai Play, where I play games with Officer Dan and some other people. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time.